This is a 3D printed bike saddle. And this is my road bike. When Bambu Lab dropped the H2D, they showed off a lot of cool marketing material. Functional prints, multicolored toys, bike helmets, which I think are insane, and this bike saddle that we ended up printing on our Bambu Lab H2D. Now, I've always owned a dual extruder or IDEX printer, so I'm very aware of the benefits that dual extrusion brings to functional prints that require soluble supports or breakaway supports, but I haven't done a lot of things with multi-material. So I thought we would continue from our first print, which was TPU and PLA, to this bike saddle that is now TPU and carbon fiber nylon. Now, I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of comments saying, "You're so stupid, you're gonna die, why would you print that?" And my only comments there are, well, let's think about the failure modes and what would happen if these parts were to fail. So if we think about printing a bike helmet, for example, if that part were to fail, layer lines delaminate, the part cracks, part breaks, what will happen? Well, it won't do its job in protecting my brain, and my skull will get cracked open if I hit the road. In the case of this bike saddle, especially one that has a off-the-shelf chromoly bike rail that's attached to the frame, what's likely to happen? The layers might delaminate, the TPU might start peeling, it might start to wobble a little bit. But these are all things that I will probably notice before anything bad were to happen. And even in those cases, it's not going to launch me off the bike into an oncoming car. And I just don't think the risk is really that high. If you use the right materials and you've been clever about your design, you can really do a lot with 3D printing. In fact, our friends over at Pantheon released a video showing that they 3D printed an entire motorcycle. So I really think what we're doing is not that risky. Now, you can already get professional 3D printed saddles. They're 3D printed in resin. You can buy them from various manufacturers. They're printed using Carbon's lattice generator and their polyurethane elastomer materials, but they're not very accessible. They're around $600 to $800 each, and Carbon 3D printers themselves are very expensive. I believe you can only lease them, and they're like $50,000 a year or something like that. But I did think it would be cool to try and see what we can achieve using an FDM machine that's lower cost and also with more accessible materials. Oh man, crazy. This feels really solid. Ooh, squishy. It's time to assemble this. So we've got our bike seat, two M4x10 button head cap screws, the second small part that's printed in TPU, an Allen key for assembling, I think it's a M2.5, and then you can actually buy these chromoly bike seat brackets from Bambu Lab. So let's throw it on our bike. I'm a bit skeptical at whether this will be more comfortable than my existing bike seat just because the TPU is pretty firm, but we'll see what happens. This is what the fully assembled bike seat looks like with the brackets in place. Ready to go on the bike. So here it is in all its glory. 3D printed bike saddle on my road bike. I obviously am not doing a fitting for it, but whatever. We'll just see how it goes. I am a bit worried that the surface of a carbon fiber nylon is gonna tug on my biking pants a little bit and kind of make it pill or like catch, but let's just see what happens. Let's go take it out. Okay, so I just came back from a short 20K ride around the city. It's a pretty awesome day here in Vancouver, so it's nice to get outside. The bike saddle was actually more comfortable than I expected. I thought it was going to be quite uncomfortable. When I was touching it and just feeling the different densities of the TPU, it's quite stiff and hard here at the nose. It feels okay back here, but I was pretty worried about this part in particular. But turned out to be kind of more or less the same as my other bike seat, which is cool. And it definitely looks neat. I really like the fact that I can mod my road bike with 3D printing. Like, that's pretty cool. I am curious to see if, you know, using like the carbon lattice engine or something to have a bit more smart TPU supports back here, and especially at the nose, if that would make things more comfortable. As it is right now, this design is pretty dumb. Like, it's just got a solid body back here with another solid body inside, and so there's like one type of infill for the outer part and then another type for the inner part. There's no like smart lattice generation, and also the density of the TPU supports at the front here at the nose is pretty thin. I personally would like to have a bit more of that, so I might look into seeing if I can design something with the carbon lattice engine. I don't know, that also seems like a lot of work, so if you guys are interested, please let me know, and maybe I can dedicate some time to looking at that. But I think for now, I'll probably keep riding this as it is. I really love how it looks with my bike. A lot of my bike is black and white, so it's kind of perfect. And yeah, we'll just like torture test it for the next several months and see how it goes. It's been 3+ months now and hundreds of kilometers, and I'm still alive. The bike saddle is still intact. There's no signs of wear or damage. The TPU is still there. I'm actually kind of impressed. So I hope you enjoyed this video. There might be a part 2 in which I investigate pressure mapping, maybe 3D printing variable density foam using foaming TPU in conjunction with a rigid material like carbon fiber nylon. That is a lot of work, but if you're interested, please let me know in the comments below, and if there's enough interest, then maybe it's something I'll do. But otherwise, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I'll see you next time.